I am so excited that you decided to be with me today. This is the first day of your 7-day property preservation success kits. Now allow me to introduce myself. I'm Carolette Wright. I am the owner of Mahaka Property Preservation Services. I'm also author of the ebook entitled Property Preservation Companies, Contact Lists, Jobs, and Services. Now, I am your property preservation consultant. I'm here to help you, lead you on the way, and give you some tips and tricks that has helped me become successful. Now, in the last 2 years of my business, not only have I done inspection and preservation work, but I have been a vendor, and I've also had the opportunity of being a regional business vendor for one of my clients. So I can relate to almost any area or any type of business in this industry. I have had to start small and work my way up the chain to regional business vendor. So day one of your agenda is going to include making sure you have the right internal tools, some of the basic tools you need, having a foundational understanding of the industry, and knowing what this business really means. So let's get started. You're going to get a lot of information coming to you at one time. You're going to be like this dog here. I mean, look, he has all this water coming straight at him, but he's accepting it. He's embracing it. I want you to embrace everything you're going to get this week. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna make sure you have a power pack value week. Now, hopefully, I can energize you. Hopefully, I can be that source of energy that will help you take your business to the next level. And that means if you found yourself losing motivation, losing your focus, well, today my goal is that you regain that rejuvenation that you once had when you first got in this industry. I'm going to also give you some direction. I'm going to point you in the right direction in your business and help you over these next 7 days get on the right track. Now, this will be a PowerPoint presentation each day. But I promise that these videos are going to add incredible value that's going to help any business, whether you're new or you're struggling, get to the right start. Get off to the right start. Now, I promise you that these videos will add value to your business that will help create enormous potential for any new or struggling business. My goal is to help you get off to the right start. Now, as you see in these videos, we have 2 groups of people who are in a presentation that's more than likely a PowerPoint or during a seminar. Well, my goal is I'm going to avoid giving you that death by PowerPoint, if you've ever heard of it. It's kind of funny. All right, so you have to make sure you have the right tools for the job. And what I mean by that is the right internal tools. These are things that you innately have in you or you develop along the way. But before I give you those keys to help you have success in your business, you have got to make sure you understand these tools. So put your thinking cap on. I want you to listen and internalize everything that I'm going to share with you in the next couple minutes. So the first thing you will need is a die-hard determination. When you're working in the foreclosure cleaning industry, you have to be determined. You have to be determined no matter what that you are going to survive. You're going to make it no matter what comes your way. Because you're going to see some things that you will never think possible. You're going to see those unmentionable properties that you cannot believe someone lived there. And you have to be determined that you will get the property done. And you will meet the deadline no matter what. So have that die-hard determination that you had when you first got into the industry. Not only that, but you're going to have a stellar work ethic. And what I mean is, you're going to have to be consistent, and you're going to have to be organized and communicate well. And when you have the right skill set and the right work ethic, you will find your business is growing, or your business will grow. Now here in this picture we have an overworked businesswoman, and she has stacks of papers on her side and a cup of coffee and wadded up paper from her, I guess, revising things. Well, she probably either got off to the wrong start, or didn't have the right tools she needed. And my goal is, with your work ethic, you're going to have the right tools. That way you won't be burning yourself or burning rubber. That you will actually have a successful business. So let's go to the next one, number 3. You have got to have an ingenuity about yourself in this business. And what I mean is, you're going to come across situations, or you're going to come across properties where you may find yourself between a rock and a hard place. And when you get in those type of situations, what are you going to do? Are you going to buckle? Are you going to throw in the towel? Or are you going to take the time and think to yourself, how will I make this work? And how will I get this done? See, it's when you actually tell yourself how, and not it won't happen, but how can I get this done, that your brain begins to try to figure out a way to get a solution to you to make that goal a reality. So in this business, understand that there's going to be times where you have to get creative to get things done, especially when you come against a budget and when you're trying to save as much money as possible. The 4th internal skill you will need is a consistency, that you will not give up. You will learn what it takes to be successful. You will learn what you've done wrong, and you will improve to make sure that it does not happen again. There's a consistency that you have to have. And what that means, you may have to put systems in place to make sure you duplicate the results you want. You have to put systems in place to make sure you duplicate the results that you want. As human beings, we are very inconsistent. But when we put a program or a system in place that will begin to automate itself, or that it will produce the same results, then we have a predictable outcome that we always want to have. And I'm going to teach you how to do that later on. But in the meantime, don't give up. Figure out a solution, put a system in place, and continue building your business. Now, there are some basic tools you need. Now, this is not a complete list, but this is some of the main things you will need for your business. Now, there are some things you may be able to get away with not having at this time, and then you can still build your business, but it will grow slower, and you will have more challenges and have to become even more ingenious to get it done. That's all it means. If you don't have everything on this list, just become ingenious on how to get the solution or the resource. That includes a lawnmower, having a truck, or digital camera. I mean, as you can see, these are the basic tools for the business. Now, you will need to have a basic understanding of who your clients are, what are your services, and what they pay. So for your clients, I'm going to give you a short list, which will include banks, larger property preservation businesses or companies, regional property preservation companies. You have your local property preservation companies. You will have your you have realtors, and you'll have contractors. So that's just an idea of where your business can grow. Now the next thing is you have to find out how to get your name to them and your services to them to be able to help them meet their goals. As far as services, you can actually visit the website that I linked below, and I have a list of services that you can offer. Just remember, if you can do it to a house, you can do it in your business. If you paint your house, clean your house, fix a rail, whatever it is, those are services that you can offer in your business to help get those properties back to marketable conditions. Janitorial cleaning. It's a picture of, grass cuts and trimming the hedges. This is what I love. I personally, I love paint. I mean, you'll see why in a minute, but I love paint. That's like a gold mine for my business. And then the second thing I love most is changing locks, because it's so simple, and the profit is definitely got a really good margin. So your pay. Just a quick overview. One of the companies that I mentioned that will pay you are the preservation companies. And here's a list or an example of the Alabama REO preservation cost schedule. And you can, like I said, reference the other states in the post that I have linked below on one of my previous articles. So let's go ahead and go here. And when I go here, I'm going to kind of just briefly go over some of the costs that they will pay out to companies. So here we go. Alabama, you have debris removal, yard maintenance, sterilization, and the list just goes on and on. But as you can see, this gives you an idea for Alabama what is being paid out. Let's find a good example. So if you were to secure one door, they will pay you $40, and that's per cylinder. So if you have one cylinder, it's like a doorknob, you get $40. And if they ask you to do more than one doorknob, then that's a multiple thereof. And then if you start adding cylinders and sheds and outhouses, those prices begin to go up more and more just for changing the lock. See, here's another example. Down, let's see. Sorry, let me go up a little further. Debris removal. So for the HUD for Alabama, the HUD cost schedule per cubic yard is $45. So if you remove 1 cubic yard, it's $45. And the maximum allowable for one unit, meaning one house and one kitchen, that's what defines a unit, then you would get paid $540 for that property. So what that means is anything above these allowables, you have to bid on those properties. So, for example, if you go to a property that's a 1-unit property that has about 24 cubic yards of debris, you have to submit to the company that sent you a bid to remove all of the property, that the debris or the trash that's located in that unit. So we'll go into that a little more later again. But let's go ahead and continue on. As I said before, they will pay you for a lot of things. And me personally, I like to work on the health hazards, and particularly paint. Here's just a quick example of the list of health hazards and whether they pay by the cubic yard or by the item. So as you can see that, for example, flammable chemicals like propane or gas, they pay for both. It just depends. Sometimes it's by the cubic yard, sometimes it's by the item. It just depends. And later this week we'll also go over this slide again, and what it is kind of gives you a price range example of what they pay. And here's an example of 1 gallon paint. They would pay between $5 and $10 per the guidelines. So if you have a shed a property that has a shed full of paint, and they're all basically full, 1 gallon containers of 100 paint cans, I mean, you can do the math and calculate the allowables for that, or bid on removing the rest of that paint out property. So as you can see, I love paint. It's just easy for me to remove. It's easy money, and it adds up very quickly. The last thing I want you to get in this first day video, I want you to understand that this is a business, and I don't want you to think of it as a job. You are a business owner, and with that, there's a higher level of responsibility. So when you start your preservation company, what's going to separate you from Joe Blow on the street is that, one, you have a business license, and you have insurance, and you have structure, and you have organization. So you have to begin to not think like an employee, but a responsible business owner. And as a responsible business owner, you treat your clients' business like your own, meaning you price fairly and you communicate properly. You do everything you would want someone to do to your business, because it'll come back. If you have a business and you fail to communicate or communicate inaccurate information, and then you go and continue on with your business, you will begin to see how it feels when you start hiring people. So do it right now. Treat the people who you work for right. Respect their business. Help them grow, because when they grow, you grow. You understand that there's no limit on the amount of money that you would make. So your action plan for day one, I want you to just go back and review the 4 skill set. That was determination, work ethic, ingenuity, and consistency. Review those 4 areas of your work ethic, and I want you to make sure that you possess those same skills in yourself. And we will tap into those 4 later on this week. I also want you to take the time and visit the web page that I have listed below, and visit the HUD cost schedules, and find your state and get an idea, if you have not had the chance now, of what they pay for those properties. And then I want you to make a list of 3 services that you can offer right now, that you either have the tools for, that you can do with relatively no additional investments. And then I want you to make a list of 3 other services you would like to include in your business over the next 3 to 6 months. And with that list, I want you to then calculate. I want you to calculate how many properties or how many jobs or services you have to complete in order to make enough profit to buy the tools to add the 3 services on of additional services. So calculate how much work you have to do or have to include in your business in order to upgrade your business to 6 services. Okay? And then we'll bring that to day 2, and we'll build on to that information. And the last thing I want you to do between now and tomorrow, I want you to meditate on what respecting your business means. Meditate on some of the things that you've had as a customer, that you've seen done to you or have done to you that you really didn't appreciate, and some things that you want to make sure that you highlight in your business. Okay? So leave your feedback below. I really need you guys to give me some really good feedback on how I can make this better. This is our first round, and I do plan on going back in and implementing your feedback to make this the best that it can be, to help meet your needs. And then I will also give you my email address for you to personally email me if you have additional things you don't want to personally share in the comment box below, but you want to ask me. You are more than welcome to grab that email that I'll share here shortly and email me there also. So, with that being said, I am Carolette Wright. I am your property preservation consultant. And until then, I'll see you tomorrow